Hi there, and welcome to this episode of Coding in AL, and we'll pick it up from where we had stopped. We looked at the Microsoft Common Object Runtime Library, and we used the datetime to populate a message on the date. Okay, today we are going to use a custom assembly as promised in the previous video. A custom assembly is one that could be custom made, something that you have made, a DLL created maybe from C#, and you want to use it in your AL project. So there are steps to follow for you to be able to achieve that, and the first thing is on your app.json file, define the target as on-prem. There are different options here for the target. There is cloud and extension. Okay, internal is being depreciated, but so used on-prem, meaning you're using an on-premise version. For me, mine is just a local version. And then once you have defined that, you need to now specify the assembly, as we had set the assembly in this file, assembly.al. For me, I've used a new assembly here. Okay, I will show you how to define. You can define the version if you want to target a specific version. If you have different versions for the same assembly specified in that folder, and then you specify the type, like what the functions or the class in that assembly that you're going to use for this particular purpose when you're calling the assembly. An assembly could have different methods, different classes that you'll not want to use, so you just specify the one that you want to use. And the other key setting, you go to Control-Shift-P and open user settings, and there's something known as assembly probing paths. Where is it? Assembly probing paths. So this is the location of where the files of your assembly are located. Okay, I don't think I need this as of now. Okay, this one I don't need. I can just leave it like that. But for me, I've created these .NET packages here. You can specify a folder, a custom folder where you have stored your assemblies. If you want to store them separately in a different folder, you just specify that. Mine, they are here. There's a folder here in my project known as .NET packages. I've specified my assemblies there. And finally, now you need to specify the DLLs or the assembly should be pasted into your C program files, Business Central, okay, whichever version that you're using, service add-ins folder. So mine, I added a folder here. This is a custom folder that I have added for my custom assembly. Okay, this assembly for me is encrypting a PDF file, and we'll try and achieve the same functionality in a moment. So on opening, once that is done, we'll now create the assembly here. So my assembly is known as encrypt PDF, and the naming should be so accurate, you should not get it wrong. I don't need to specify the version, but the file that I want to use is this encrypt this PDF and PDF, and then now I close it. So you should be able to know the name, the specific name of the type that you want to, the .NET type in that assembly that you want to use. Okay, so after specifying that, now I'll go to my vendor list. I'll add an action. So here we are adding an action. This one was encrypting, calling it encrypt the vendor statement. so we'll repeat the same, and then but now I'll just create a new action. Let me call it encrypt doc, custom doc. Move its speed a little bit, and then I'll copy this promoted to save time, and then we create a trigger. Snippet is t-trigger, so it's supposed to be on action, like when this action is clicked, or when the user clicks on this particular action, this is what will happen. We don't need an image. Maybe you can say account, I don't know, okay, not so important. So we need to specify now the variable, this assembly. Now we will reference it. This is the alias of the assembly. This name encpdf is the one that we'll use on this side as a variable. So here under my variables, we'll just say var okay, we'll say encrypt pdf is a .NET variable of type encpdf, and you can see it is now being detected since it's on this other side. And then the vendor will be a record of type vendor. Then finally, now we want to use if we find the vendor, so let's get the vendor. Let's use the rec.no. It will give us the current record of that vendor. So when you get that, we now say we encrypt this PDF, we initialize this assembly, encrypt this PDF. This method takes the input URL of the document and the output, and then you specify the password. So for here, the input URL of my document is it's here. I'm not using any D, I think somewhere here I have it here. So this is the document that I want to encrypt. So this is the link to the document. Okay, let me go to the property so that I can get the exact link. Okay, here it is. So this is the path to the document. It will be my input here. So it's a string of the input, and then a string of the output. We'll add now the vendor number. We'll use the vendor number as the PDF password, but we'll also have this appended with the vendor number, so just to show us that this is the particular password that we are viewing. And then we'll just do plus.pdf. So this is the output, and then now finally the password will be the vendor dot now the number. So the vendor number is also the password that we'll use. And finally, now we will build. So once you have copied the assemblies to the add-ins folder, make sure you have restarted your instance. For me, I had already restarted. Once you have added them to the add-ins, make sure you restart the instance to enable the system to just refresh its the assemblies in your system, so that they can be picked. If not, maybe it won't be able to see. So I will now open my vendor list and try and do that encryption. So our action is here. We are saying encrypt new doc. Let's use this to 2000, so we expect the password to be 2000 because this is the current record that is selected. So we do encrypt. Okay, I forgot to put feedback. Maybe we could have a message after that. But now here we are with our document 20,000. So when I open the document, it will prompt me for the password, since we have said it is 2123, and then we will open the document. Okay, that is how you can be able to use now the custom assemblies. God bless you, and I will see you in the next video.